This one is really key, and if you're in any kind of food business, that's going to be a make or break point for your business in the next 5 to 10 years, especially if you're looking at international expansion, and in which, in some market, this is absolutely critical. It's about transparency. It's about the fact that consumers today want to know origin, they want to know traceability, they want to make sure that what they're eating, what they're consuming is absolutely the right thing. And so you have a huge opportunity to play around being the champions of transparency. Yeah? If you're in a fast food environment or a QSR environment, that's a very, very big opportunity, because there are big questions around healthiness and quality and all these things. But if you want to be transparent and really be clear about it, that's a great, great opportunity. And just a couple of things that talk to that. In the US, you have the household product database on the left. It's a website. It contains all the products you can find in a hypermarket and supermarket in the US. And for each, you have the chemical breakdown, and also a list of any allergies or known problems that some of the components can create. So if you have any kind of allergy, you can go and check it out, and that's complete transparency. Next to it is ProSampler. I don't know if you can see that properly on the screen, but ProSampler, which is a DNA traceability company. And today, it's a company that the large farms and the large retailers use to make sure that the meat products they're buying are traceable and from the right origin. But you can imagine that with technology, tomorrow this is something that consumers can do themselves. That they have ways to test and check the origin of those products. So this is where, again, technology is going to play a huge role. Now, hyperconnection is almost an obvious comment to make, but today there are about 400 million devices connected to the internet. By 2020, we're going to end up with about 50 billion devices. Now, a device is going to be, by 2020, your fridge, your car, your microwave, your coffee machine, anything in between. And we're going to be constantly connected through that network. So it means that getting information is going to be instantaneous. Your consumers will be able to compare offers. They will walk in the street and they will walk past a competitor and they will receive a special offer for that competitor. And if they're better at technology than you are, they'll be better at capturing traffic than you are. It's going to be very, very simple. Many retailers will not be looking at having cashier or checkpoint. You'll be able to pay in different ways. In some cases, if you're known to the store through the loyalty program, you'll be able to walk in, pick an item, and leave without even having to stop. And I don't mean shoplifting. Yes? So that's really, a huge change. And it's a huge change because when we're all connected, what we're connected to is a common intelligence, and we can gather information. And so it's really, really important. And it's also important to do it well. There's a US retailer, which I won't name, that decided to put kiosks. They were challenged because consumers were worried that the price in their store were different than the price on their website. So they decided to put internet kiosks in their stores to allow the consumers to check the prices. The problem is what they did is that the website they had in the store was different than the website they had on the web. And they got found out, and they got killed. And today they're one of the retailers that is really, really struggling. So if you're going to think about anything you do online, think about the fact that transparency is critical. If you go on social media, don't just go with a little budget and without anybody to check this. You're going to be into a lot of problems. You have to commit, but we'll talk to that maybe separately. Some examples. On the right, you have a website which is connecting in the US Health Club, connecting through Facebook, and you can connect with your friends directly, and they can see what you're buying, and you can see what they're buying. At the bottom, you've got Pepsi, Be Social. It's a vending machine where through social network you can give drinks and buy drinks. And then the top left, you have a great example from Tesco in Korea. Tesco realized that a lot of its consumers are very busy, they work very late, and they go in the subway at home and they don't really have time. So what they did is they put posters. These are just posters, just images of product. Next to each product there is a QR code. There's a small, simple app. And as a consumer and shopper, you can go take a picture of the QR code for the item you want, put the quantity, and you get it delivered to your home in the evening. And you can do that, and that technology has been used in Singapore with cold storage and in other places. You can do that. And the value of doing that, if you think about it, is if today you have 100 franchise or 100 retail points, With that, putting poster, you can have 1,000 tomorrow morning. Because a wall is a retail point. A newspaper page becomes a retail point. A flyer in the mail becomes a retail point. So that's really quite a powerful aspect. And in terms of technology, it makes the point I made earlier. The technology, that's not a good sign, by the way. That's not my presentation, that's Windows. There we go. You know, technology, I was just talking about technology. Usually when you talk about technology, Microsoft breaks. That's the rule. But really, this is really quite important because it really affords a completely different engagement with consumers. Wherever they are, you can be. It's a huge thing. And there are many other opportunities, and I spoke to some clients on Monday about this with some ideas. A few other examples, a Brazilian retailer where you can compare food items online, a shop here that sells application. That's actually a physical store selling iPhone apps. Interesting, right? So the world has turned around. And these, some QR codes here, but kind of cool QR codes, one from Starbucks, one from Ralph Lauren, one from Louis Vuitton. Yeah, so having fun with the technology, it's also what you can do. And whether it's QR or NFC, near-field communication, or other technology, it doesn't matter. The key is to be ready. Yeah, and the best is to really think in terms of infrastructure backbones. Heritage is very closely related to authenticity, but it's really, really important. And I think, you know, in the Philippines, a perfect example. We have such a phenomenal culture, and we saw that in the introduction with all these great pictures and great leaders and monuments and even animals. Heritage is about what people want to connect to the past in today's world. Yeah, today's world is very fast-paced. It's changing all the time. New technology, new solution, very, very hard to keep up. Yeah? And so people want to anchor into a little bit of the past. And the way this starts is it starts through food. And this is one of the key avenues for long-term trend. And just a couple of examples. We have here at the top a restaurant by Aston Blumenthal, a famous British chef called Diner. And Diner is a restaurant where Aston has taken recipes from 1600, 1700, 1800 Britain. You would not think that Britain had such quality food at the time. Maybe they still don't have it, but who knows? It's a debate. But it's a phenomenal place. It's absolutely phenomenal. At the bottom is a restaurant from Grand Achatz in Chicago called Next. And it's a concept restaurant where every 3 or 4 months they change the concept. And the first concept they did was Paris 1906, which was using the recipes of the French chef Escoffier from 1906. So the point about heritage, it's a huge, huge thing to think about. Yeah, if you think about the Filipino, the Pinoy culture, huge things you can use there. Yeah, taste flavors of the past and bring them back and bring them current and offer them, yeah, to your consumers. And that could be also for other things. Now we go into some of the concepts. And the first concept I want to talk about is at your door. And it connects to another concept I'll talk about called instant retail. The point about at your door is to get consumers to come to your store. It's a very complicated business. You have to make sure that they know about you. You have to make sure that they find you. You have to make sure that when they want to see you, you're actually open. It's not easy. And it's an expensive proposition. So today you have a lot more brands that are looking at ways to get the consumer to see them wherever they are. At the bottom here you have Fido to Go in the US. It's a delivery truck. By the way, that concept of delivery truck is one of the 2 biggest trends. The other one I will talk about later, which is the container. But the delivery truck is becoming a huge way for retailers to reach out. Walmart in the US, I just tested a pilot in New York with P&G, where they're using Twitter to deliver P&G products in New York City, in one of these trucks like that. This one is about delivering dog food, yes, wherever they are. You have B&Z in the middle. It's a small kiosk. It's actually a bank. They put that in front of an office and you can do a basic transaction. At the top is my favorite example. It's from Domino's Pizza. This is in Holland. On a beach or in a park, they put these doors. And on the door there is a doorbell and there's a little menu that hangs out of the letterbox. And you can pick up the menu, pick your item, ring the doorbell, and it connects you by phone to the local Domino's Pizza and they deliver to the door. So think about it. If you're on a beach, would you think about buying a pizza? Maybe you would want a pizza, but would you really think about buying it because you know the delivery guy maybe is not going to find me, all of these issues. Right here, no problem, he's coming to the door, easy. So again, it's about how you get people to come to you. And this is very low cost. Yeah, to run a truck, very, very cheap. To put these things, very, very low cost. These are great low cost ideas. And another dimension to at your door is the vending machine. The vending machine is completely changing. Yeah, it's not just about buying a Coke or buying a Pepsi or buying, you know, an item of food. Vending machine today in Spain on the left, they deliver fresh fruits.